like a lot of Italian actors who grew up in Toronto, we're not so interested in always just like playing the mobster or like the stereotypical Italian, wise guy. That there's other roles. Italian people do other things too than just like whack guys.
But you would have seen that too coming up, right? When you were trying to get films made, and what you would have auditioned for, what you would be cast for.
Absolutely.
Was it frustrating?
Yeah, I think like when I got out of theater school, I met with a couple of different agents, and almost all of them wanted me to change my name.
To what?
Just really generic, kind of like John Steele, or just weird names. Like that's obviously like I made that up, but just kind of
Were you auditioning for porn for John Steele?
I mean, it paid the bills. No, no, I'm kidding.
But dude, I'm a Stroumboulopoulos. I get it. I'm curious.
Yeah, exactly, right. But so I eventually met with this woman, Alicia Jeffrey, who's been my agent my whole career, who was like, I don't want you to change your name. I want you to be exactly who you are, and walk into a room proud of who you are, and I will work to fight to convince people that even though your name is Giacomo Gianniotti, that you can be all sorts of different things. And so I love her dearly.
Did you have a thing you wanted to be? A thing you wanted to play?
James Bond.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Coming up. Look out.
A lot of Idris Elba fans are going to be mad at you. If
Yeah,
you take that role.
I know, right? Hey, no, I hope Idris gets it. It's some time before it's my time, so it's okay. He can have it for now.
People watching who want to be storytellers, want to be actors, directors, writers, or whatever, producers, but particularly actors. Tell me about the path. Like, how did you create opportunity for yourself? Because part of it is luck, for sure, right?
Yeah.
We all have luck.
Sure.
But how did you create opportunity for yourself?
I think there's a quote I heard a long time ago in college that I don't know who said it, but it was about something about if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to leave the room. And I live by that. I've just always surrounded myself with people who are more talented, more intelligent, more experienced. And if I at any point feel like I'm above or know more, then I need to change the scenery, because I'm always wanting to grow and learn, and I have no hang-ups of ego of trying to assert myself. And especially in this journey of producing, like I was very green. You know what I mean? I'd been around the industry for a long time, but I didn't know a lot of things about producing, and this journey has taught me so much, and I still have so much to learn.
Being on a TV show, you work with a lot of different directors. There are a lot of bodies floating around a set.
Yeah.
What has that taught you?
Well, one of my first jobs when I got out of theater school was on this show called Copper for BBC America. And I remember, I was so green because I was from theater school, and this is my first TV job. And the director was telling me, okay, at the end of the scene, I want you to look this way and take your reaction, over here. And I was like, okay, that really seems weird. There's like a camera here on a crane. Why would he want me to? Okay. And so I kept fighting it because it felt so strange to hide my reaction of this conversation to the camera. And after 3 times of me not doing it and him being like, man, you need to do what I tell you. I got a camera right down there. And I went, oh shit, I didn't see that camera. And so now on, when I walk on set, I'm like, where is every single camera? It just taught me to be really aware, and that no one's really going to take care of you. No one's going to hold your hand through it. Even though it is extremely collaborative, you really got to have your shit together.
And it's on you.
And it's on you. In theater, you have this incredible luxury of having weeks of rehearsal and trying and throwing things against the wall and watching them fail and collectively being like, yeah, that didn't work. And let's beat it. Let's get better. But, in television, you walk on set, you meet your director, and sometimes you meet your co-star if you're guest starring. And it's like, all right, let's get into bed and pretend we've been together for 6 years and have incredible chemistry and romance. And, or even if it's just like a friendship relationship, you skip all the steps of theater, of rehearsal, of, building all that. And you just have to sort of be in it. So it stretches you in a different way. But
how do you prepare for that?
I think you just have to be really clear about your choices and what you want to do. And on the show, there is a luxury that I have that I work with a lot of the actors direct on the show, and so the people I know and I trust. So when Kevin McKidd, who directs a lot on our show, directs, and he looks at me and gives me a little wink, he's like, you got it, I trust him. But if it's some new guy or some new woman who's just I don't trust them. So there's got to be a conversation, and I'm going to be a little bit more reluctant to trust in them. But that's just maybe my insecurity. I don't know.
How long did it take you to get comfortable on that set? And Grey's is this monstrous kind of franchise, and you, as I understand it, got a couple episodes at the end of a season.
Yeah.
And there wasn't an expectation you were going to come back.
No, yeah, I just got hired for a couple episodes, and then it turned into what it did. Grey's Anatomy kind of has this pattern of every couple of years it brings on an intern class.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like art imitating reality in the sense of like these interns are all vying and fighting to stay at this hospital and to continue to work. And all of the actors playing those doctors are also vying and fighting to stay at their job and keep that work.
Is that a comment on the camaraderie of those interns? How is it pretty cutthroat?
You just feel that it's like, yeah, like they can't keep all of us. That's way too many characters.
Yeah.
And they're playing with us right now, and they're seeing who works and who doesn't. And they throw the actors and the interns into different scenes with different characters to see if there's like chemistry and things. And so I outlasted my entire intern class, but it was hard because I made friends with these people, and even though like it's all it's just business, but there is that feeling of like okay, I'm losing that guy or I'm losing that girl. I don't get to play with them anymore, and there's not a room for everybody. But that's his business, It's a tough business.
And I suppose that kind of desperation or that kind of hustle or hunger doesn't really leave you?
No, I mean, I feel like I've been playing this character for a while, so I feel very comfortable like slipping into him and what he likes and what he's motivated and what drives him. But I mean, every week we read the new script and there's like, oh, I didn't know that about him. There's always developments. I don't have some Bible that I get to refer to of his whole backstory or whatever. Like I had to create those things, and oftentimes I'm misproven about choices that I've made. But it's been a great ride, and I'm really happy to be on the show.
Did you try to do things with the character that the show infrastructure said that's not what we do? Did you bump into any of those kinds of things?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times what I just fight with is just making it better, funnier, elevating the material. Yeah. And on the day, it's you can learn your lines, but until you get into the room on set and work with the other actor, you can't really know what the scene is really trying to accomplish or what it could accomplish if you guys really put your heads together. And again, there's so much less time to figure that out. And also, in theater, you have weeks to figure out how this other actor that you've been paired with works. Their style, their approach to acting. Yeah. Whereas in TV or film, it's like you just go like, oh, you work like that. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You could set them off, they could set you off.
Yeah. Maybe they're weird, maybe they want to be alone, and it's just like you have to figure that out very quickly.
So that when you leave, you have this short window. You shoot 10 months a year, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
So you got a couple months off and you want to make this film. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different setup for you.
Absolutely.
Things you don't know how to do as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe things you might be out of practice doing.
Yeah.
How much confidence did you have in yourself?
I had the confidence in the script, in the words. I knew this was a beautiful story, and I knew if we all put our heads together, we could accomplish this and do it. And everyone was fully aware of, from the beginning, of how difficult this was to make. But Natty, our writer-director, wanted to make this for next to nothing because he just believed in the story so much. He wanted to get it made. And Jonathan and I said, like, I'm sorry, but we won't let you do that. This deserves more. This has to be done on a bigger scale.
But then you got to go get the money.
But then you got to go get the money. Absolutely.
Are you good at that?
I don't know. Am I? We made the movie. We could have done with a little bit more money.
Yeah.
But a little bit more money always helps. But I don't know. You watch the movie and you tell me how much you think we shot it for.
I think you paid less than people think.
Yes.
And you probably got a lot of people who helped you out.
Yeah.
Which I think is key to this, right?
Absolutely.
That this is community.
Yeah. And I think you feel and see that in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about like looking at those words and saying, "Oh, I get to stretch now"?
Yeah, it was really exciting, and it also, in a way, going back to Grey's, I went back into the next season after this so charged, so pumped, so creatively just overflowing and rich, and it just made my life so much better, and I got to just explore these I got to go back to, past relationships I'd had and baggage and breakups and relive all those things. I lived with Natty, our writer-director, and started to become him because I lived in his basement for, I don't know, like a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks that we were shooting in prep. And it was all of our friends, like Jonathan and I originally started, we just want to work with all of our friends who are so talented. And we got to do that. So every day, we'd be shooting late and everyone was tired and sweaty because it was hot in Toronto and humid. But you'd look around and you're just like, I love all of these people. They want to be here.
So you're young and you've done this for a long time. You're reaching a stage of your life, you're 29 years old, right? Mm-hmm. So you got 30 coming up. And are you on the same path? Do you even want to, are there new things you want to do?
Oh my God, yeah. Every day. I mean, like you said before about there's so many people on set. I'm just so curious. I'm always at the monitors. I'm always talking to the cameraman and the grips and the people the guy who pushes the dolly. Just like, how does your job work? How does that work? What does that button do? You know what I mean? I'm always just trying to soak everything in because I know it informs what I do and what I will do. And
do they all want to give you the answers, or they're like, get
yeah? Oh no, they love it. Oh, they love it. Yeah, they love teaching and they love like nerding out about technology and stuff. And I'm just happy that they like to collaborate. And so, I don't think that I'm ever really done. You know what I mean? Like I'm horrible with idle time. Yeah. I want to just always be going and going and going. If there's like a couple days, some people, but wouldn't it be nice to just lay on a beach for a week? I'm like, no, I would literally go insane.
That's your dad in you, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
That old school immigrant attitude.
Yeah. My dad just really raised me with like, don't take anything for granted. Nobody owes you anything. Always have a bag packed. You know what I mean? Like, which has made me a little bit of a pessimist.
The bag packed is pretty awesome.
But, it's just kept me really hungry and humble. And when I have letdowns and lows and doors closed in my face, it's just armed me to move forward so much easier and just let it roll right off my back.
Before Grays, how much were you reading for parts, self-taping? Like, how much were you out there?
A ton. But I will say that there is a glass ceiling in Toronto and in Canada that I'm sure even you have experienced in your life of like, okay, I've kind of done almost everything I can do here, and I don't feel like I feel like I'm just getting started. That's wrong. Like, I have to go somewhere else. I have to go into a bigger pond where there's more to play with. And so it's sad that a lot of Canadian artists have to leave Canada and to go pursue a larger career in the States. But I hope that the Canadian industry can start to support its talent and to start investing in it more.
In a way, this is on, people like us, people like you, if you want to change it, you got to come back and be a builder. So it's good to go away and get the nice roles.
Which this is all a part of.
Right.
Absolutely.
And is that an important, like, do you guys talk about that sort of stuff, you and your crew?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had to move to Los Angeles about 4 years ago, and aside from Jonathan, I really didn't know anyone. And so whenever I had an idea and I was like, oh man, it'd be cool to just like shoot this little thing, and I would love to direct. I'm interested in directing, and instead of being like, oh, I'm just gonna run out to the street and go to Natty's house or my friend Martin, who's a great DP, I don't have any of those people.
Right.
And so that idea just kind of fizzles and dies. And so I'm in such a rush to get back to Toronto, where all my creative people, I was telling you before, a lot of my friends are musicians. I was the one kind of guy out of my group of guy friends from high school who was like, I want to be an actor. So
how much do they rib you about being about what you do now?
A lot. Yeah, a lot, for sure.
Do they recreate?
Yeah, they'll send me pictures of like their mom or whatever watching Grey's Anatomy and like
watching the kiss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is all fun. But
not knowing, LA can be a very lonely city.
It can, yeah.
And it's a very isolating city because you don't just step outside for energy. You got to drive somewhere,
mm-hmm.
and you often need a place to go. You just can't stroll down Queen
Street.
So for you, what was the mechanism by which you made yourself emotionally healthy and well and didn't succumb to maybe some of the heavier stuff?
I think when I first again, I was just day playing on Grey's Anatomy, and because I'm such a pessimist, and I always had my bag packed at the end of the week, being like, all right, they're going to can me, so I'm ready to go. And when they told me that, we want to make you a series regular and a part of the show, you live here now, you have to get an apartment, I hadn't even calculated that as a possibility. And so seriously, my mind was just like, oh, crap.
So you don't believe in the secret then? Like, put it out there and it'll happen.
Yeah, well, I believe in that stuff, but it doesn't always pan out. You can believe all you want, but this doesn't always go your way.
But you were doing the opposite way. This is gonna go away. This is gonna go away.
Yeah, I feel like the more your expectations, reach for the stars, but if your expectations are low, you'll always be good if you're let down, and then if something amazing does happen, then it's just a beautiful surprise and coincidence.
So they say you got to move here.
Yeah, so it's flat, and there's not a lot of beauty. Yeah, Toronto is just so beautiful, summer or winter.
People in Whistler right now are going, "What are you talking about?"
Okay, this is my first time in Whistler, and my jaw was on the floor the entire day. And everyone from the film can agree we're at the top of the mountain today. It was just stunning.
So you go to LA and you're like, "This isn't even a pretty place to be."
Right, and being a Canadian guy and loving the outdoors and being raised in Parry Sound, Muskoka, those were my summers, and camping and being on a lake and canoeing. I quickly realized that everything that's going to feed me and make me whole and keep me engaged is leaving LA. All the amazing places that are around Los Angeles are so incredible.
Dude,
it's
everything.
one of the most beautiful places in the world. Yeah. The mountains, the sea, the desert. You got all these incredible climates and places to go to explore and adventure.
Were you nervous when you made the move?
Yeah, I did a road trip from Toronto with two of my musician friends to LA. We drove to LA in 3 days, and it was a wild ride. It was a culture shock. It was different, like you said, you have to find your community, your people, where you like to get your coffee in the morning, and your grocery store, and suddenly when all those things start to kind of fall into place, you get into a groove. And then I found the woman who's the love of my life I'm going to marry, and that's really changed my life. And she's American, and so I'm locked in now.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're finding inspiration there.
Lots of inspiration there, yeah.
I've never been married, but when you say I'm locked in, it doesn't sound.
Yeah. No, I meant to LA, and I didn't mean to her. Oh, God. Was that unclear? Oh, God. I got to clear that immediately.
And so you found comfort there. You found a way to do it.
Yeah.
But does it change how you work? So this idea of bag always packed, hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That can fuel you for a long time if it's positive, right?
Yeah.
But once you get the job,
Yeah.
and you've got the check, and now you've got the person in your life, and you've maybe got a place. And
I've definitely settled into.
Yeah.
To.
Has that changed how you perform?
I think it's just made me more relaxed. I think my work from the beginning to where I am now is I'm just much more confident and relaxed. I really don't feel like I have anything to prove. I just want to go in every day and do the best that I can do.
Right.
But like I was talking before, in the beginning when I had 4 other people who were hired with me, that competition was there. You feel it.
Do you ever find a way to get ahead?
Not like that, but.
I mean, proverbially.
What was that?
Proverbially.
Did I stab some only room for one, Giacomo?
How do you shine? How do you shine in that, but not be a dick?
Yeah, I feel like kindness always wins. You just got to be nice, and it was always in the air, and you felt it. But I would never sabotage someone's career or life to get ahead. It's just not me.
And the regulars on the series.
Yeah.
How'd they take to everybody? Because they've seen this happen before.
Yeah, I think. It's just they've been doing it for so long, and it's been interesting to watch them, how they deal with directors and their confidence level, and how they're just like, no, I've been playing this person for 11 years. I'll be doing this. Thank you very much. Right. Yeah.
But they still have to say that. That's what's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I've definitely settled in and become more relaxed in who this guy is and how he works, and feeling like an equal on the set, which totally wasn't the case when I got there, because it was just so overwhelming. Huge ensemble cast that's been going for so long, so established. There was a style. I was really hopping on this, very fast-moving train.
Right.
I didn't really not know a lot about the show. I wasn't a fan of the show. I hadn't really watched it. I knew about it. Who did know about it? But yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
And so to get to, to start
Yeah.
making your own stuff now, it's another language to learn, another dialect to learn?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I read the script, it was just something I really connected to, and to kind of
What was it in it?
the character. Yeah, his dilemma. I had just been there. I'd been with a woman who I wasn't in love with, and was banging my head against the wall, not knowing how to end it, and not having the courage and the confidence to do what was right for me, because I knew that would just absolutely destroy that person. And these are the themes that we deal with in Acquainted. You know what I mean? Is my happiness worth their pain? Is it, am I doing them a favor in the long run? You know what I mean? Will they thank me later? But to have that insight in the moment is next to impossible.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you can't be objective. And so I just related to a lot of the issues. I hadn't bought a house so I mean, his stakes are definitely higher than mine were at the time. But I think a big part of the film that we all really connected with and were excited about having people see it is that we feel like at least one person in the film everybody will connect with and sympathize with and feel like they have been that person at some point in their life. And so, and I think it's going to be interesting to see, who people root for and who people don't root for, and we've all been raised in different places and different, backgrounds, religions. Well, it's going to inform how you feel about these characters' choices and how they choose to sort of travel through this.